You probably think you know how the world works, but did you know there's a planet where it literally rains shards of glass sideways at 5 times the speed of sound? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that the history of ancient Egypt and your favorite sci-fi movies are much closer than you ever imagined. I'm Kevin from Know Your Deets, and here are 20 facts that will make you question everything you know. There are significantly more trees on Earth than there are stars in the entire galaxy. NASA estimates there are between 100 and 400 billion stars in the Milky Way, but a massive study published in Nature found that our planet is home to roughly 3 trillion trees. This means for every single star you see in the night sky, there are nearly 30 trees right here on the ground. The Alaskan wood frog has a survival trick that sounds like pure science fiction. During the freezing winter months, these frogs can actually freeze solid, stopping their heart and breathing for months at a time. They survive this by accumulating high concentrations of glucose in their blood, which acts as a natural internal antifreeze to prevent their cells from bursting. Out in deep space, there is a planet known as HD 189733b that is made mostly of molten glass. Because of its unique atmospheric composition, it literally rains razor-sharp silicate shards. To make matters worse, extreme winds blast these glass fragments horizontally across the planet at 7,242 kilometers, or roughly 4,500 miles per hour. Pluto is famously small, but for a long time, people believed it was smaller than the surface area of Russia. Thanks to NASA's New Horizons mission, we now know that Pluto's surface area is approximately 17.7 million square kilometers, or 6.8 million square miles. This officially makes the dwarf planet slightly larger than Russia's 17.1 million square kilometers, or 6.6 million square miles. Neutron stars are so incredibly dense that the numbers are hard to wrap your head around. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh about 10 billion kilograms, which is roughly 22 billion pounds. To put that in perspective, that is approximately the same weight as the entire human population condensed into a tiny single spoon. If you could drive your car straight up into the sky at highway speeds, you'd reach outer space in under an hour. The Kármán line, which is the internationally recognized edge of space, is only about 100 kilometers or 62 miles above the Earth's surface. The Great Wall of China isn't actually one single continuous wall. Instead, it is a massive collection of over 10,000 separate sections built by various dynasties over the centuries. Some of these sections are thousands of kilometers apart, and many parts of the 21,196 kilometer or 13,171 mile structure were never actually connected to each other at all. Jellyfish are the ultimate survivors of our planet. They have existed for at least 500 million years, making them significantly older than dinosaurs, trees, and even sharks. They have successfully survived all 5 major mass extinctions in Earth's history, despite functioning without a brain, any bones, or even a heart. There is a specific species of jellyfish called Turritopsis dohrnii that is biologically immortal. When this creature becomes old, injured, or even just stressed, it has the ability to revert its cells back to their earliest polyp stage. This essentially allows it to restart its entire life cycle from scratch, bypassing death entirely. The first alarm clock ever invented was a lot less convenient than the one on your phone. Invented in 1787 by Levi Hutchins, the clock could only ring at 4 a.m. It wasn't adjustable because Hutchins simply believed that 4 in the morning was the time that everyone should be awake to start their day. Woolly mammoths were still roaming the earth while the Great Pyramids of Giza were being constructed. While most mammoths died out much earlier, a small isolated population survived on Wrangel Island until about 2000 BCE. That was roughly 500 years after the Great Pyramid was already standing in the Egyptian desert. Cleopatra lived chronologically closer to the invention of the iPhone and the 1969 moon landing than she did to the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramids were already ancient monuments, over 2,500 years old by the time she was born. To her, they were as ancient as the Roman Empire is to us today. You are statistically more likely to be killed by a falling vending machine than by a shark. While sharks average between 5 to 10 fatal attacks globally each year, roughly 13 people are crushed by vending machines annually. Most of these accidents happen when people try to tilt or shake the machine to get a free snack. Ravens are incredibly intelligent and are known to hold grudges against specific humans for years. Scientific studies have shown that they can distinguish between friendly and hostile faces. If they don't like you, they will even label you to other ravens, warning the rest of the group to stay away from you. Bananas are naturally radioactive because they contain a high amount of potassium-40, which is a radioactive isotope. While you would need to eat about 10 million bananas at once for the radiation to be dangerous, the effect is measurable enough that scientists created a banana equivalent dose as a real unit of radiation. Genetic research has revealed that humans share about 60% of our DNA with bananas. While we obviously look nothing alike, many of the housekeeping genes that control basic cell functions like moving nutrients or replicating DNA are virtually identical across both species, showing a deep, ancient biological connection. A day on the planet Mercury is one of the most bizarre cycles in the solar system. Because of its slow rotation and fast orbit, the sun would appear to rise, set, then rise again all in the same day. One full Mercury day-night cycle takes about 176 Earth days to complete. It is physically impossible for you to breathe and swallow at the exact same time. Humans have a shared pathway for both air and food, and your epiglottis acts as a safety switch that blocks one while the other is in use. Sloths move so slowly that they actually grow algae directly on their fur. This green tint isn't just a sign of being slow. It provides the sloth with vital camouflage to hide from predators in the canopy. The algae even supports a tiny, complex ecosystem of insects that live exclusively in the sloth's coat. To wrap things up, the last execution by guillotine in France took place in September 1977. This was the exact same year that the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, was released in theaters. France did not officially abolish the death penalty until 4 years later in 1981. It's incredible how much history and science overlap in ways we never expect. If your mind was blown by any of these, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Know Your Deets for more facts that change how you see the world. Until next time, thanks for watching, and you have a great day.